Once there was a wandering horse trainer who traveled from farm to farm, race to race. He trained horses and earned his living along the way. Because of his work, his young son grew up constantly on the move. The boy had to change schools often, and his education was full of breaks and pauses. Every time he started to make friends or settle in, they packed their bags again and left for another town. One day, when he was finally back in class, the teacher gave the students an assignment. Write about who you want to become when you grow up, she said. That night, the boy didn't sleep at all. He wrote everything that lived in his heart about a big horse ranch, his own horses, wide open fields, and a house standing proudly on a hill. He even drew a detailed map of the ranch, where the stables would stand, where the tracks would go. At the bottom of the page, he added the floor plan of a 1,000 square meter house. When the morning came, he handed the paper to his teacher. 7 pages filled with pure dream. He felt proud, certain that he had written something true. 2 days later, the paper came back. On the first page, written in red ink, was a large zero and a note. See me after class. After the lesson, he stayed behind. Why did I get a zero? He asked quietly. The teacher sighed. This dream isn't realistic for a boy like you, she said. You have no money. Your family moves from place to place. To build a horse ranch, you need land, horses, and a lot of money, things you don't have. She looked at him kindly but firmly. If you rewrite your essay with more realistic goals, I will reconsider your grade. The boy went home and thought for a long time. He walked slowly, holding the paper in his hands, reading the red mark again and again. At home, his father was fixing a saddle near the fire. The boy sat beside him and asked, Dad, should I change it? His father looked up and said quietly, My son, this is your choice. Your choice. You must decide on your own. That night, the boy sat at his small desk. The lamp flickered over the page as he read them again. He lifted his pen to cross out the dream, but something inside him stopped his hand. A voice inside whispered, If I erase it now, I will raise it again someday. He put the pen down, folded the paper carefully, and placed it back in his bag. A week later, he stood before his teacher again. He looked her straight in the eyes and said calmly, Don't change your grade. I also won't change my dream. Years passed. The boy grew into a man who worked hard and never forgot what he had written. Piece by piece, his dream began to take shape. He built his ranch, 20 hectares of open land, and a 1,000 square meter house. Horses ran freely through the fields, just like he had imagined. Above his fireplace hung that same essay, framed and slightly yellowed with time. The red zero was still visible in the corner. One summer, a bus stopped at the ranch. A group of children stepped out, led by an older man with gray hair, his former teacher. They spent the day walking through the fields and watching the horses. The teacher seemed quiet, thoughtful, as if remembering something. When it was time to leave, he stayed behind for a moment. He looked around the ranch, then at the man his student had become. I can tell you now, the teacher said softly. Back then, I was a dream thief. I stole many dreams from my students, trying to make them realists. He paused for a moment and smiled sadly. Thank God you were stubborn enough to keep yours safe. The man said nothing. He only smiled and looked toward the fields where the horses were running. The world is full of people who will tell you your dream is impossible, but only you can choose what to believe, their words or your heart. So never let anyone steal your dream. Yes, my dear friends, once his dream was just words on paper. Now it breathes, runs and lives beneath the open sky. Don't wait for permission to believe. Make your own proof. If you really liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next chapter.